import a data set. Using the Iris dataset for importing the dataset, we have to read the CSV file. How to read a CSV file? First, we upload the CSV file here. I think CSV file is not here. So what we will do, we just drag drop the CSV file. So look, if as the file is not here and still I run this, you will get an error. What error is saying? That no such file or directory. Okay. So what you have to do, you have to first drag drop that file here. So wherever is your file, you have to simply take that file and drop it here. Press OK. So now your file is here. Okay, iris.csv. You have to just copy the path of the file and paste it here. Okay, and then press run. So this is what is your file is. So if I set print data, so it will just give me the first 5 records and the last 5 records. Okay, so this is how we can import, and this is how you can print the first 5 rows of the and the last 5 rows of the data set. Okay, if I write data.tell, so what it will give, this is just a normal Python commands. You are going to learn it in your Python lab. I'm just using this for data cleaning purpose. So even though if you don't understand, it's totally fine. Those you already know it, it is okay. Okay. So here, data.tell will give you the last 5 records of your data set. So this is your last 5. As I said, I'm having 150 ID, and this is your last 5 records of your data set. Now, step 3 is what you have to rebuild the missing data. So how to rebuild the missing data? There are 4 ways to find the null values. What is your first way? First is data.isNull. So this data.isNull, if there is any null data, this function will just show you if there is any null data here. So if there is no null data, then it will return false. So it means there is no null data. Okay, so we are getting false for first 5 and the last 5 records. Okay, next is the next way of doing is NA. It is the same as isNull function, and it will provide you the same sort of output. So data is NA. We are not doing anything. We are just using the by default function. Okay. Now the next way of searching the data or null data is NA.NE. Again, it will work in the same way, but here it will give you the column wise or according to species. It will just check the everything, and it will just give you the information in form of Boolean value. Okay, so in this column, there is no null value. In this column, there is no. In this column, so we are having 6 columns. So in 6 columns, there is no null value. As our data set is not having any null value, so it is showing there is no null value. Okay. Next is so what is the difference in .NE? Here it will give you the data in tabular format. Sorry, column wise, not in the tabular format. In the previous 2 cases, isNA and .null, isNull, it will give you in the record format. Okay. Now, here the next function is data.isNA.sum. So what it does, it will show you the Again, in form of not in the Boolean, it will just return in form of integer. Okay. Please remember this for Viva purpose. Is_na dot any will return you the Boolean value. Is_na dot sum will return you the integer value. Next. It will just represent the whole thing in a single value, whether any null value is present or not. Or it will just display if there are 3 null values, so it will return the 3. Here we are not having any null values, so it is returning 0. Okay. Next, I think we have to check to find the duplicate value. So is there any duplicate value? So by default, the function is present data dot duplicated. So if you run this function, you will get all false. So here the data type, return type of this is Boolean. So there is a no duplicate value present here. Next. So these are some of the basic steps for data cleaning. So what we have done, we clean the data to find that is there any null value? Is there any duplicate value in our data set? In case of that, if there is a null value or duplicate value, we will get rid of such type of data before visualizing the or before using any visualization technique. Okay. So here we have just seen some basic function. Data cleaning. So your data cleaning, it is just fixing the any bad sort of data in your data set. It may be empty cell, it may be wrong data, it may be duplicate item, or it may be the list items. So if the data is in wrong format, then you will just fix that data set. Okay. Here we are taking another example for data cleaning that you can try of data1.csv. Now purposely, if you can see here, so what is data1.csv file? Here you are having duration, date, pulse, max pulse, and calories. So before visualizing this data by using any visualization chart, if you can see here, there are some missing data. So these are my missing row. Okay. So we need to get rid of, now the iris data set was quite clean data set where there is no missing value, no duplicate value, but we have seen the various function for missing and duplicate value. Now we will learn how to remove this that missing and duplicate values. Okay. So here we are having two missing or the null values. So so duration we are having 12190. Dates we are having from 1 to 31. Matlab only December month ka data is there. This data might have taken from some wearable device, pulse, maximum pulse, and calories. So all sum they have just given different variation for calories. Okay. So this is just a basic data set. Any wearable device from here. Okay. Now we want to display the data set in form of text. So what you will do first, you will upload the data set. Just let me check whether the data set is here or not. So data set is not present. Again, we have to say do the same thing. We will just drag drop the data set here. So this is my data one. Okay. So now the data set is here. You have to copy the path of the data set and paste it here. And then you can use it. Now the data set is ready. Okay. If I write print df2 string, so it will just display the data set in form of string here. This is my data set. Now, when I write in form of string, so here you can see that these are my null values. Okay. So the first thing what we have to do is sorry. So here we are having NaN. So what is NaN? These are your null values. So to drop these null values, what you have to do? Simply you have to use the function df.drop NA in place equals to true. So here, if you do this, so this is my basic data set. So I want to drop the null values. I don't want to use that rows only. So the first thing you can do is to drop the, whenever there we are having the data set of thousands and thousand records, then what you can do, you can first say, if you are having many records, then you can simply drop the line if it is not affecting your result. In case of machine learning or data visualization, if it is not affecting your result, then you can simply drop that record. So here, df dot drop n. What is df? This is your data frame because we have created your data frame. So where you have load the data. If in place is equals to true, then what you have to do? You have to drop that. So the data set is there. So here you get your output. Now, if you can visualize here, row number 18 is not there, 22 is not there, and 20 is not there. And 18, we are having null value here. 22, you are having null value. And 28, you are having null value. Okay, so we simply drop, if any of the column, if there is a null value, then we simply drop that column. It means that. So we have simply drop by using df drop any null values in place equals to true. And after displaying again, displaying the data, you can You can see that 18, 22, and 28 column has been dropped. Now, the next way of doing it, the first solution is you can drop the null values. The second solution is you can replace the empty values. So how you can replace the empty values? Again, I'm using the same data set. So this is just for your reference purpose. And the starting the data set is something like this because we have just deleted the data records. So I want the original data. I want to replace this null values by some values. So here we are just replacing the null values with 130, just a random number, just to show that how your data is represented. And when you print it, you will get the output like this. So number 18, 130 has been replaced. Now this is in case of date, but still we replace that with 130. And next is this 28. We replace this null value with 130. So if you know any particular value that you can replace the null value with, you can directly replace with that value. Okay, this is one way. Second method, you can replace the null value or you can fill the null value with median function or mean function or mode. So either because I don't know if I am having thousands of records, so I don't know which value I have to take. If I know the value, then I can directly replace the value with that value. But if for certain cases, I don't know the value, so what I will take the median or mean of the particular data set, and then I will replace that. For example, in this case, the calories. I don't know for this particular record what can be the replaceable value. So what I will do, I will take the mean or median or mod of that particular thing, and then I can replace that value. So for just calculating the mean, the simple formula is TF. On basis of this column, you are calculating the mean. And you're replacing that calorie wala column where there is blank values or null values there, that is going to replace by a mean of that is X value. So what is X value? It is a mean of the calorie value. So this is the best way of filling the null value. Okay. So here we have replaced this with the mean value. The another way of doing is to replace that with the median value. What is the median value? The value in the middle. After you have sorted all the values in the ascending order. So that is your median value. Median is middle value. So either you can replace that with the mean value or you can replace that with the median value. Now in this case, roll number, middle value is 291 or the mod value. Okay, so there are three ways of replacing. The first technique is you can replace or you can directly delete the particular record, or you can replace it by mean, median, or mod values. The next is after doing this, once you get the all data set or data in the record format where there is no null value, then you have to find is there any duplicate value. So if you can see here, we are having, can you see the duplicate data set here? In original, we are having any duplicate there. Okay. So 11 and 12. Now this is my duplicate record. Okay. So I want to remove duplicate record also. Otherwise, it will affect my data visualization or any sort of classification or regression technique. So here we have to remove these duplicate values. So for that, we will use drop duplicate. Drop duplicates in place equals to true. So if you do this, then you can see that the duplicate, the 11 and 12 row was duplicated. So we dropped one of the row. So it's not like that 11 and 12 both will be removed. Only one, it will keep any one. Okay. So in this way, you can remove the duplicate values. Okay. And now when you run the function, print DFW duplicated. So it will return you the Boolean value and it will display that everything is false. It means there is no duplicate value in the data set. So now after clearing, so these are the basic steps for data cleaning. After doing all this step, what you can do, then you can have your basic data visualization technique using Matplotlib or Seaborn, where you can use a different scatter plot or variant type of plot, scatter plot, bar plot, and whatever type of visualization you can do. So these are the steps for data cleaning and visualization. Okay. So now you're already having the data set. You can try out that data set and do the cleaning and visualization process. In next lecture, we can start with the multivariate data visualization and geospatial data visualization. Okay. So up till now, what we have done,